Let's consider the flow rate power calculation module in its most interesting case, when the substance is set to moist air. The first calculation option is determining the flow rates of air entering and exiting the heating or cooling source. We input the power, the temperatures of the air entering and exiting the heat source, as well as the humidity of either the incoming or outgoing air. The flow rates of the incoming and outgoing air are then calculated automatically. Depending on the initial temperatures, the heat source may be replaced by a cooling source. When performing calculations involving a cooling source, pay attention to warnings about condensation and the need for additional cooling power to account for the condensation occurring on the cooling source. You can specify the altitude above sea level, and the calculation in this module will be performed with the appropriate adjustments for air density. Using links, you can connect the airflow rates and parameters from this module to the calculations in the next module for automatic duct sizing. The next calculation option is power determination. We input the flow rate of either the incoming or outgoing air, the temperatures, and one of the humidity values. We obtain the value of the power required for heating. Calculation option number 3 is determining the temperature and humidity of the incoming air. We input the power, the flow rate of either the incoming or outgoing air, and the parameters of the outgoing air. We obtain the values of the incoming air parameters. You can switch the heat source to a cooling source, and likewise obtain the values of the incoming air parameters. And the final calculation option is determining the temperature and humidity of the outgoing air. This works similarly to the previous option. We input the power, the flow rate of either the incoming or outgoing air, and the parameters of the incoming air. We obtain the values of the outgoing air parameters.